I'm sure there was a reason why I was telling you this. I can't remember what it is now. I will. Oh, I know. They had to rescue a guy who was drowning.
Yeah.
And, which, they're lifeguards, so that's what they do.
That's what they do. That's their job.
But they used the most polite terminology. They said that he had intentionally altered his consciousness and was struggling in the water.
What?
No, he was high.
Oh.
He intentionally altered his consciousness.
Intentional consciousness altering.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It was the most...
comment.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be on Discord more. I miss so much.
You totally need
Why is...
Everybody need to be on Discord!
Way more.
Get on the Discord!
No, until I can be on it. Nobody should be on it, because then I miss so much.
Yeah.
Mark is red.
What?
I have to mark everything as red, or else it just pops up.
Makes sense. Okay. Do you want to say hi to all the bookface individuals?
On that.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah, let's get on
Facebook.
camera.
Oh.
So tell Facebook, hey.
Hey, Facebook, I'm looking at the only camera.
And tell them that we're just about live.
And we're almost live. So if you're tuning in now and you're like, what's going on? We're getting ready. And we're about to be ready. So stay tuned.
About to be ready. That's the story we're telling.
That's the story we're telling. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Oh. Why didn't the shrimp share his dinner? Because he's a little shellfish.
Oh, he's a shellfish shrimp. That jerk.
You're welcome.
I wasn't saying you're a jerk. Saying the shellfish
No, I know.
was a jerk.
I was just...
Yeah. Hey,
I know
everybody.
what you meant was...
Hi there.
Thank you for that really
Hi.
funny joke.
Oh, that was in the... Who gave that to you?
My car, which is just Google
Oh, your
Assistant.
car?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you use Alexa. Tell me a joke. Tell me a joke.
What's the difference between a wizard and a spelling bee contestant?
I don't know.
One conjures spells, and the other spells conjures.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
That's good too.
Now you know.
See, Marshman gets my humor.
He is a gent. So are we ready to like do a rockin' show?
Oh my!
We're only using that camera tonight.
I keep
'cause
looking
Jeff
at it. Why?
is a no-show, but I got rockin' camera
here
shot.
I am.
It's like yours is like a warp drive.
Whoa!
Nice. We need sound effects every time.
That was my delayed reaction. Uh-oh.
Thanks, Marshman.
Check Discord. I'm checking Discord.
Can I call
check,
him Marshman?
check to make sure Discord.
Discard is discard.
You know what happened?
Oh man, this could be so many things.
I pre-read the news.
No, you didn't.
And I struggled hardcore on the first story. And I said, we'll talk about the pronunciation of these things before we have the show.
Oh, good.
And now
I'm
here's
so
the show.
glad that we decided to do that.
And now we have the show.
Oh yeah,
And
we're practically live, Sasha.
That's the thing.
So what's the problem here?
Okay, go to story number 1 and tell me how to say that word.
How would I go to story number 1?
You can't?
You want to bring it up on your laptop?
Well, I sometimes when I do that, it crashes
What is
Discord.
that? An error message?
Discord's crashed anyway.
What does it say?
I don't know. Hold on, I'll get close.
Can you see that? Can you guys
No.
read that?
It says, the requested URL was not found on the server. If you entered
Come on now, really?
something, please check. Oh, it's gone now. You clicked.
Oh, don't tell me Titan is down. No.
Titan?
Titan.
Titan has fallen.
Come on now. You're supposed to be strong, Titan.
Okay.
Seriously?
I'm going to try
Why would
pulling
they
up
be
the
offline?
news. It might crash my...
And why 10 seconds before we're live? Like a bunch of guys.
So is it like not working, like I won't be able to... Oh no, there we go.
No, that's
Okay.
Titan. Titan.
Okay, so I need... Maybe I can control...
There it goes. They're back. They were rebooting something.
I wonder, can I just copy and paste this into Discord and somebody can tell me how to say it?
What's the
Control,
word? What's
copy.
the wizard?
It's not a word. That's the problem.
What?
Control.
Well, don't give it to the chat, because then you're gonna.
Then I'm gonna spoiler alert it?
Absolutely.
Oh
What do you
my.
got?
What is that? Not English.
Unace V2.
Oh yeah. it
She's
is.
like, Eunice Unace V2.
Can I now just copy and paste that so that you can see the struggle?
Sure.
Okay, the struggle is real. Control, copy.
Ace
Unace V2.
V2 version 2 .dll dynamic link library.
Paste.
It helps to have context.
Yeah.
So ACE is the archival tool.
Right.
Unace is to unarchive an ACE file. V2 is version 2. .dll is a dynamic link library that enables applications to unace or uncompress
Right. That's
files.
right. That's not at all. I was like, UNICEF too.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah. All right. So y'all are ready for a show? Do we have sound? Can you hear me? My nasally self?
I know they can hear me because I told a funny
Hat
joke.
or no hat?
Hat.
It's comfortable.
Hat.
I'm comfy. Bald nerd is warm.
We're kind of dressed the same. I have dark hair. You
Yeah,
have
we
dark
gotta
hats.
stay warm. We're Canadians.
And I'm wearing
Put
a
up your
super
hood, will ya?
comfy. Yeah, I could. I could be gangsta.
We'll totally do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. You don't look gangster. You look like Little Red Riding Hood kind of thing in a black hood.
Peace.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably won't do that. Okay. We are ready to go, right? Ready for launch? You did all the things?
Yeah, I just want to see you. I'm imagining that that's Noman's. Noman's?
On Ace Displays?
Or is it Noman 5? Or is it Noman's?
No, it's no Emans. Like no.
Is it?
I don't
I was
know.
waiting for you to be like, no, mine, sir.
And maybe it actually is 5, not just a play on S.
It might be an S.
It could be
Who
somebody's
knows?
password.
I'm guessing that
And also
Noman's
gonna-
is pretty leet. Pretty leet indeed. I can pull up my socks before the show.
What happened is we were ready to go right on time, and it was uncomfortable for Robbie. So he'd like to delay, so we have a late start.
What was uncomfortable? Going live?
Going live on time.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, super. Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, Plex, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit category5.tv.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. cat5.tv/TPN. And the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. cat5.tv/IAIB.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Nice to see you. I'm Robbie.
I am Sasha.
Nice. See how I didn't stumble on you that time?
That was good.
I was like, I'm going to let her say it. I knew she'd be right on top of that.
That's
introducing
the
herself and everything.
one thing I
We got
know.
through the intro, so now
Yeah.
they know who we are.
Exactly.
Now we got to have a rocking good show. So everybody's little LED light came on just a couple of
'cause
moments ago.
that's
So
right.
I imagine that your projects are going very, very well. I want to say thank you to everyone who's pitched in to assist with our server replacement. We've got our Telestream Wirecast broadcast system. That's the computer that all of our cameras plug into and everything else, and it allows us to do the switching and the live broadcasting. That needs to be replaced because unfortunately it's at end of life. It is an older system that I put together back in Season 5. Here we are in the middle of Season 12, and it served us very, very well, but it is failing. And so I just, again, again, want to thank you. There have been several people who have thrown a little something in the tip jar to support that venture. And for those of you who aren't sure why we would even mention that, or why we wouldn't just up and pull out the old credit card and and buy a new server, Category5 TV is a group of volunteers. We are all volunteers here. We pay the bills. We do everything on the budget that we have to operate, which is based on advertising revenue, which is based on folks that use our Amazon links and other partner links in order to shop through our website, so that a little kickback comes back to us,
right.
And contributions from folks like patrons and people who throw something in the tip jar.
Yes.
We don't have any debt.
Right.
Which is that's kind of how we want it to be. Like,
yeah.
that's where we want Category5 to be. I mean, you got to pay the bill from a month ago for the internet and stuff like that. But as far as like back debt or buying things,
we're not putting something on a credit card and then paying like a crazy amount of interest, and that's not responsible.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're not falling into that. So all that to say, your contributions are helping us to get ready for that reasonably major purchase for a small group like ours. So I thank you very much, and thank you again to our patrons. Those are the folks who just give. Some give as little as $1 a month, and that's great, because if there are, let's just say there were 1,000 people who decided to do that.
Yes.
That's our rent covered. That's our internet covered.
Yeah.
In addition to that, and then like everything else is gratis, right?
Yeah.
And then there are folks who give $20 a month, and it's up to you. And there are some perks there that are given to you if you decide to contribute in that way. So I just want to again thank everyone for pitching in.
When we do raise the money for the server, which will be happening soon, can I just build it? Like, I am
you're gonna put it together, right?
Professional.
I'm going to sit back, put my feet up. Sasha knows how to build servers now.
I can do this, right, Marshman?
How's your gaming rig been performing? I mean, we put that together back at the end of 2017.
I think so. It was a wedding. It was a wedding gift, right? And I've been married for like
a little more than a year.
A little more than a year.
Yeah. So
and it is doing really well. It's
cool.
I did not really build it, really.
Yeah, you kind of did.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
I sort of did. But I did a good job. Like, it's
really all I did was go.
Be very careful.
Ground yourself, Sasha. Don't bend the pins. That was my job.
It reminded me of learning how to drive.
With the backseat driver, the training person.
Could you imagine? Okay, so that's my computer. Well, it's Dave's computer. It's my gift to Dave.
Yeah.
Right? So you didn't have like any real like emotional attachment. Can you imagine if I was building the server for the show?
Right.
I feel like
there's a little bit of like an added stress there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the one where I'll just guide you through it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That'll be part of our vodcast.
That would be so much fun.
So my vlog, basically. Yeah. So we will show you that server once we put it together and everything. But as far as patrons go, if you're a patron, you'll be able to gain access to that. If you're not a patron but you contributed, just email me and say, yeah, I want access to that as well. Yeah. And I'll just send you a link to the video, because that's going to be a lot of fun. But it'll probably be like an 8-hour session of putting together this amazing server. So what's new with you? Anything exciting in the tech world? Did you get a chance to look back at some of the stuff we're doing with online? You haven't done it yet.
To be
Anything
honest,
exciting?
to be honest, I've been so super busy just in life in general.
It's been a busy time.
It's just been bananas, and so I haven't really had a chance. So none of my news is really tech news. Mostly, I am just gonna go right out there and tell you I'm going to Whistler for March break, and
so you're going to be away in 2 weeks.
I'm going to be away in 2 weeks. And so my big news is really just that I've been spending as much time as possible trying to learn how to snowboard so that I don't embarrass myself on a mountain.
You've been snowboarding for a couple years?
I've been snowboarding not for a couple of years, for like 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Yeah? You enjoy it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it. But today I went out for a couple of hours. This morning, it's cold here, -15 Celsius. I went down 6 runs and did not fall at all.
Well done.
For the first time ever.
Nice.
Okay, so
I can't even walk without falling. That's amazing.
In comparison, at Whistler, BC, for anybody who's Not familiar.
Way out west.
West. I don't know.
From us. So
west.
we're central Ontario.
And they're
central South Ontario.
West side. One of their runs is 11 kilometers long.
I'm sorry, what now?
11 kilometers.
So you snowboard.
Snowboarding, you're like squatted.
And how fast is snowboarding? Like you're maybe doing 40, 50 kilometers an hour?
No, I'm not. I'm really, really chicken. But okay, let's say you are going 40, 50
I would imagine you could easily sustain 40 kilometers an hour as a rookie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 11 kilometers long.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy amount of leg action.
Yeah. So be safe.
So,
Are you going to send back video?
Well, here's the plan.
I know it's not tech, but I mean, everybody wants to see it. Maybe vlog for us.
Exactly. So we're going to Whistler on the Monday. My plan is to do the calculations. I think it's a 3-hour time difference. My plan is to be at least in the chat room for the show itself, right?
So you'll need to be there like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I feel like that's possible.
Yeah.
So I can do that, and I can send you pictures and stuff so that I can still be a part of the show. I don't like to be away.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jump into Discord.
So my stuff's
I have nothing that exciting going on. Nothing at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you've always got things on the go.
No, I've got things on the go, but nothing like snowboarding 11 kilometers down a hill in Whistler, BC.
Right.
That's not on the table for me.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't just talk 1 hour about how cool it is that I'm going.
But I would love to hear from our viewers in British Columbia,
please,
in Canada, and just let us know that you're watching, and just know that Sasha's going to be there in a couple of weeks over the March break. It's going to be a busy time.
It is going to be a busy time.
Oh,
actually, yeah, if you're watching from BC, just know that I've spent all of my money on my lift tickets for one day at Whistler. So also give me ideas of what I can do for free.
Let's see if I can. Now, how can I get in here without a mouse? Is there a way to zoom in on? I don't know how.
I don't. Oh,
if I double click. Okay, we have some folks down in Surrey and Vancouver. We've got somebody up there in it looks like Williams Lake.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whereabouts does Whistler fall on? There it is, right in between. So just above Garibaldi Provincial Park.
Yes.
There's Whistler, and that's where Sasha's going to be. So we've got some folks that are watching from Vancouver, British Columbia. We've got somebody down here just a little northwest of Abbotsford, and then there you are, right north of Garibaldi Provincial Park.
So that is going to be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take lots of pictures. I mean, Dave will probably take lots of pictures. I use all of my attention just staying up.
Take the GoPro.
Yeah.
Get some video.
Absolutely.
If you want to know how you can see that map and see where our viewers are watching from, just head on over to map.cat5.tv. It gives you a live global view of our viewership. So these are the folks that are watching Category 5 Technology TV. And there's somebody right in the middle of the North Pacific.
How is that?
That is a wee tiny little island that you might have heard of called Hawaii.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I was driving my car today with one of my friends. I was like, my car is so cool. Listen, it's just Google Assistant. But I was like...
That's your friend?
That's my... No. I had a human friend. And I was showing off. I plug my phone in and Android Auto pops up and... I was showing off my cool technology, and I was like, you can ask it anything. And today I asked it, I was like, what time is it in Hawaii? It turns out Hawaii, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 8 o'clock in the morning in Hawaii.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so...
We were showing off my Amazon Echo just before the show, cranking up some tunes. We had volume at 7. And you wanted a song, and suddenly she started playing the Mini Pops.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I have a high-pitched voice. Maybe she was judging my voice.
This sounds like a child.
This is a child. She would like to listen to the Mini Pops, not the original version of any song.
Not at all what she asked for. And then when we continued to ask, no, turn that off, put on something else, it kept choosing Mini Pops.
Yeah, pretty much. That device judged me.
I said that now we've set a very dangerous precedent because now it thinks that that's what I prefer.
Right.
So now when I ask for things like Otis Redding, it's going to be like, here's the hits of Otis Redding performed by the Mini Pops.
By the Mini Pops.
Yeah.
When I was younger and you gassed up at the gas stations here, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, or was like this everywhere, you used to get a cassette tape as like a gift if you...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and so I used
odd.
to have like a really odd collection of cassette tapes from like the mid-'80s. And it would have like one or two songs only on it.
Wow.
But they were almost always Mini Pops. So I actually have a history of the Mini Pops.
Neat.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, on that note, tonight we are going to be looking at a very cool device from Odroid. Now, we've looked at the XU4.
Yes.
Do you remember this board? I actually have my XU4. If I can just leave the set here for a second, folks, I'm going to grab this because I've actually got it connected. I'm disconnecting it now, and then I can bring it around. Now, my XU4Q is installed in the Cloud Shell 2 case.
Right.
So some people have seen this on the show and said, what? That's not a Raspberry Pi killer. It's huge and expensive. This is the case with a screen and a circuit controller and 2 hard drives and a SATA header here. So you pay extra for those components.
Right.
Now, the XU4 itself, the circuit board is right there. So can you folks see that? I'm going to just kind of zoom in here so that you can get a look. So this is the board. It's a single board computer. It's kind of hard to show you, but that's it. Nice. That's the single board computer. It's about the size of a Raspberry Pi. So whenever I demonstrate the Cloud Shell 2, this device, this is like the full, like I've purchased the case, I've got a couple hard drives in there, I've got a nice fan on the back, which people say, well, why do you need to keep it cool if it's got a heat sink? That's for the hard drives.
Right.
Because the spinning hard drives do generate some heat. That'll just keep them cool, give them longer life. That's cool. No pun intended. And then we've got a 3.5-inch screen or some odd thing like that, USB 3, all that kind of stuff is all built in, right? So I mention this because I know you've seen it on the show before. That circuit board, the XU4, is combined into a NAS unit. Not like this. Not at all like this. I'm going to show it to you in a couple of minutes' time, and it's going to blow your mind. So they've taken that SoC, the chip, an 8-core processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and built it into basically an external hard drive enclosure. It's called the Home Cloud 1, and we're going to be unboxing that and actually testing it this evening here on Category 5 TV, so make sure you stick around.
Very cool.
Cool indeed. We've strategically planned... Yes.
Nobody's sick. Nobody's sick here.
We've strategically planned commercial breaks to cough.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
have
like,
a sip of our drink.
Hold it in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Dave, if you're watching, and you're probably watching.
Dave made us both sick.
You gave me this cold. I did not give it to you. You gave it to me.
Dave, now I've caught it. Dude.
Yeah. I think everybody right now, because Winter's doing this grand finale, like fireworks display of snow right now, where it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Except
boom.
it's coming up down from the sky.
And it's cold
like
and it's windy and
fireworks.
It's like if fireworks had an evil like twin. Yeah, so that's what life is in Canada right now. And so I am sick.
All right, do we want to jump right into it?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Should I just start right on the
yes.
on the table?
Yes.
All right. Let's get into it, folks. Let's do this. And Sasha, you be ready to push the wide button, okay?
The wide button. So I'll just keep my finger.
Raid. It says Wade.
It says wide. Okay. I am poised.
Okay, welcome back, folks. As we do it with our single board computers and unboxing, I want to start it right here at our unboxing table so you can get a look at the Odroid HC1. Now, let's get right into it. This is the box that they sent me. What is so exciting about this device is that it is a single board computer built in to basically a hard drive enclosure. That's all that's in the box. I'm just going to throw that down there. And let's get in it together. Now, I was watching Doctor Who last week, and I'm afraid to do anything with the bubble wrap. I'll just set that aside safely. Okay. Now, this is sealed. Marshman.
What? You
Look
did
at what
it.
I found. Yeah.
He's so proud of you.
Oh, I know. And there it is. I feel like there should be like some heavenly semaphores playing as I open this. I want you to understand how incredible this is for SoC and single board computers. You'll notice there is no HDMI output. There's no video output. This is strictly your DIY NAS unit. There is a larger form factor version of the HC1. It's called, cleverly, any guesses?
No.
The HC2.
No.
Yeah, the Home Cloud 2 will take a full-sized, like 3.5-inch hard drive. Now, what this bad boy is going to take, so what I want to point out is that this is basically an XU4 single-board computer. I say that. It's not really an XU4, but it's got the same SoC. So what it has underneath of this, you notice that there's no processor? It's because it is on the bottom side. You can't even see it, but it's down there, and it's making contact over here with the cooling architecture of this aluminum body, okay? So this heatsink, it's basically like the chassis is this giant heatsink, and the SoC is underneath of this bit here, and it's keeping cool. The SoC is, why is it so exciting? It is a Cortex A15 2 gigahertz processor with a Cortex A7 CPU as well. That gives this a total of 8 processing cores. 8 cores, folks.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. It has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and as you can observe here, it has an SATA 3 header built right into the board. So what does that mean? Now we can take our Kingston SSD. There you go. I've got a 960 gig or 1 terabyte drive, and I just simply slide it in there, and boom. Now it's part of that device. So now, this SoC, when I boot it, I'm going to have access to this drive as a hard drive for this system to use for storage. Now, it does boot from an SD card, so I've got a micro SD card, which I've installed Maverick's Debian Stretch on this. So you can download that at cat5.tv/mev, just to make it simple for you. That'll take you to the forum thread that gives you that image for Debian Stretch, and that is going to boot from that SD card. Then the data is going to be stored here. This is where we're going to actually put stuff. The case here, now this is sold separately, this upper part here. It's just the way that they've done it. So just keep in mind, you'll probably want to pick up one of these as well. And what this does is it's going to just slide right on here, I presume. Of course, I unboxed this with you watching, so you know about as much of it as I do. But I think that's just going to kind of pop right on here.
Huh.
Yeah, something like that.
Take two.
Probably don't want to do it with the SD card right there. Does it slide on?
It looks like it should.
Oh, yeah. There's like a...
Yeah, like a little
track.
ridge.
There we go. Okay. And then this side here, I imagine that's going to do the same thing, and they're going to lock together. So no screws needed. Ah, yes. Ah.
Okay.
Aha.
There we go.
We're learning here together, folks. So this is the Odroid HC1. I've put my Kingston 960 gig hard drive in there. I've got Maverick's install here on a Kingston 16 gig micro SD, which I'm just going to pop right in there. It's going to use 5 volt 4 amp. Of course, we need that 4 amp because we're also powering a hard drive as well. It's got USB 2, and it has gigabit Ethernet.
Ooh.
Beyond that, the SD card slot, the micro SD slot, is UHS 1 compatible, so it is fast. But again, we're going to probably put most of our data is going to be happening here. Just the boot and the operating system itself is going to happen on the SD card.
Before you test it, are you putting screws in the SSD? Because there's screws on the side on the table there beside you. What are they for? Oh
yeah, look at you. Let's see.
Thanks, the Foo. You made me sound like a genius.
Well, where do they go?
Yeah. They have to go somewhere.
There you go. Look at that. The foo for the win. We've got a hole there. And we've got, that's it. There's just one screw hole that perfectly aligns with my SSD.
Perfect.
Let's grab that.
That way.
Because we absolutely, we only do things correctly around here, folks.
We read the instructions.
Oh, yeah. There weren't any instructions. You saw what came in the box.
That's actually true.
It's just DIY. It's just, hey, stick this thing together. Figure it out for yourself.
This is very, like, chic. I love the look of it. So.
Yeah. And I think that as a little tiny home server, anything like that, this is kind of an ideal device. I think as a NEM server, as Nagios, how perfect is this for something to monitor your network and keep tabs on things? Put all your logs on the SSD. It's going to give better performance and higher reliability than something like your SD card. SSD, SD. There you go. It's all screwed together. Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to jump back over here. Sasha, if you want to hit that wide shot there so that we can see you, and I'm going to make my way back to the set.
Okay, so let me just...
That's all there is to it. Yeah.
Let me see it. It is cool.
What do you think?
Unboxings make me want to buy things.
It's just, there's so many different things you can do with this. So it is Linux compatible. So again, I've put Debian on here.
Yeah.
cat5.tv/mev to grab the image for that, which you just flash using Balana Etcher. I guess they've renamed it because they got bought out by, or they changed their name or something like that. But Etcher, anyways, you can burn that and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Presumably. And you say, well, you've done all the work, but we want to actually see this thing operate.
Yes.
So don't go anywhere. We're going to fire it up right after this.
Are we still doing giggle scores on things?
Yes, but not today.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be doing here, Marshman. Yeah, but give me 5 minutes to fire things up. Let Sasha and I cough a little bit.
I know. This is ridiculous. Cough due to cold.
Now, for you watching at home, you folks can see. We're just going to do Ethernet. There we go. And power, I guess. So presumably, I have a 5-volt, 4-amp power supply around here somewhere, which I do. As you can see, 5-volt, 4-amp, yep. And plug it in. How can I keep this visible on the set? Like, we need to make it float. Because as soon as I set it down there, it has disappeared.
I read Harry Potter, but I can't remember any of the spells.
Darn it, Sasha, you need to pay more attention, yeah?
Levioso, I think.
Wow, you did it.
Yeah!
Well done. Okay. How's that? You guys like that view? It's a little, like, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's just a little tiny box.
I wish that we had, like, a different colored box to put it on.
Oh.
For the contrast.
Yeah, okay, well, I can do that.
Okay.
I can find, like, a different colored box. As you know, we do a lot of unboxing, and we have a lot of boxes.
I feel like it just wants to sit on something that shows it better.
Yeah?
Well,
let's see if I have something that's not branded.
Yes.
I'm certain that I will be able to come up with something for you folks. Oh, and if it is going to be branded, it may as well be branded as...
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yes. There. Much betterer.
This is also Odroid.
Yeah.
I feel like the XU4 Cloud Shell 2 does deserve a spot on our set tonight because this, you know, it's a bit of homage to the XU4 to be doing something like the Cloud Shell 1.
Comme ça.
No, not the Cloud Shell 1, the Home Cloud 1. Bill made that mistake as well. They have weird naming. Okay, so that's booting. That was easy, right? Why don't I use Open Media Vault? Are there any Open Media Vault devs here? Should I really say it? Stability. That's what we'll say. we'll stick with Debian, and we'll build it ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to log into my firewall, my router.
I shall wait here while you do that.
Yeah, you do that. How are you doing for coffee? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Debian stretch at 10.0.0.148. That's what it's telling me. Could that really be true? .0.0.148. I'm getting a server certificate. Nice. What, you want to see the blinkety-blinkities? No, you want to see it like that. Y'all want to see like the activity LEDs.
Ah.
Nice. Okay. So I need to make it so y'all can see that screen. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit there, folks. Give you a nice little close-up.
That Earth shot reminds me to say One Strange Rock is a very good show to watch.
What just happened? Okay. I'm duplicate. Oh, I can't duplicate, can I? Delete. 5. Okay, new shot. And in my new shot, I want capture device. I'm going to try 3. No, it wasn't 3, Sasha. I was wrong.
It's a mystery, according to the screen.
I'm going to try number 1. Nope. That's not it. Number 2. Ah, yay.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay, and I'm going to pull right in there.
Do, 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 do.
Okay. That looks good. This is what I'm doing, folks. Boom, nice and tight in there. Okay. So now I need to apply a shortcut to the device on the desk. So I'm going to call that. Okay. Sorry, folks. Okay, laptop close, and I'm going to call it that. Does that show up on the screen?
Yes.
So if you push laptop close, what happens?
If I push laptop close,
there we go.
That happens.
And what if you push laptop now?
Laptop.
That is beautiful.
Excellent.
Okay, Stream Deck for the win. Plays nicely with Telestream Wirecast, I'll tell you.
A nimble streamer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. And grab my notes here, Sash.
Okay.
Is this fun?
This is fun.
So, what I'm trying to do differently here tonight, folks, for those of you watching live, is I want to get away from just constantly feeling like it's just a product sales pitch.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, here's a cool device. I really love it. I want to show you what we can do with it now. Like, let's actually plug it in, turn it on, and get excited about it, because it's pretty cool. So we're going to build a torrent server.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill knows what we're doing. Okay. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. And before the break, we were looking at the HC1, which I've now plugged in right here. And so I've simply plugged in an Ethernet cable and a power cable. That power cable is something that you purchase at the same time from cat5.tv/odroid. And that is a 5-volt, 4-amp power supply.
Right.
And it's important to get the 4-amp because we're going to be powering not just the circuitry, the SoC or the single board computer, but also the SSD.
Right.
Or you could have a hard drive as well, like a spinning hard drive if it fits. It'd be like 1.5 millimeters thick. Or is it 15 millimeters? I don't know. Millimeters, inches, really 17 meters. you know. But as long as it fits within 2.5-inch enclosure, then it's going to fit.
Exactly.
This device. But I like to use an SSD. I find these days they're going to be reliable. They are affordable now.
Yeah.
Kingston make exceptional SSD drives, and it generates no heat. It uses virtually no power.
Right.
And so this device is basically, this is a solid state device that I can just put in my server room. I can use it at work. I can use it at home. I can put it in the cellar. I can put it, I can just tuck it in behind the TV and make it a server.
And it's fine, right? Whereas, like the spinning ones, they can...
If you move them while they're on, you can damage the drive.
Right.
Because the needle can, we'll call it a needle, but the head can touch the platter because there's a very, very fine air cushion between the platter and the head.
Yeah.
So it can cause damage. Whereas these things, even with it powered on right now, I have no risks in moving it around or whatever else. They're very...
I feel like a solid state drive is like Sasha proof. Like I
wouldn't call it Sasha proof. We'll call it Sasha resistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll
stick with that.
Be careful around it. Okay.
So I've plugged it in, and I want to remind you that you can't plug this into a TV. There's no HDMI output. There's no video capabilities within this board whatsoever. So that's where it differs from an XU4. The XU4 has 4K HDMI output.
Right.
This does not. This is just strictly treat it like a server, or in this case, we're going to call it a NAS unit, but it's so much more than that. You think of a NAS as it's strictly storage, network attached storage.
Right.
You can save things to it, you can copy things from it, and it's centralized storage, and it's handy. It replaces the need for buying a full-size server for storing files and sharing them within your network.
Right.
But this does that, but it also has an 8-core computer running Debian Linux Stretch. Debian 9 is what I've got on there now. Of course, I could upgrade it to Buster if I wanted to go to Debian 10. It's available. It's I think it's frozen as well, so you could do that if you're, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. You don't need to do it. But if you do, you can do that, and it will operate. So it's basically a full computer.
Yes.
But with the networking capabilities and everything else. So all I've done is with Maverick's Debian Stretch installed, flashed to the SD card. I've turned it on, and now I see the IP address when I check out my router, because remember, it doesn't have a screen, so I need to be able to find how do I access it.
Right.
So I checked out my router, and my router shows the DHCP pool, and I can see the DHCP for, it showed as Debian Stretch, and it showed 10.0.0.148 is what my DHCP server had assigned to this device. So now when I jump over to a PuTTY window on my Windows 10 machine and type in that address, it's saying, yeah, it's found it. 10.0.0.148, and I left that too long, but so let's actually take it right from the top of PuTTY so that you can see how that works. I'm going to go 10.0.0.148, log in as, and your login is root. Let's zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to move this window so that it falls right on your screen.
Beauty.
There you go. So your login is going to be root out of the box. Your password is all lowercase Odroid, just like you see on the box. Well, it's a little strange font, but Odroid, O-D-R-O-I-D. Okay. Now, I mean, what do you want to do? Let's do apt update.
Okay.
Just to kind of see how that goes. Now we see, hey, we've got a certificate verification failed. We've got a whole bunch of errors. What gives?
What? Yeah.
What gives?
What happened?
I didn't plug in a real-time clock battery.
Oh.
You could plug in a real-time clock battery. I imagine that there is a spot for it. But my clock is going to be wrong.
Righto. It is. Yes.
Yeah. So what I need to do is I need to set my clock. And I'm going to confirm that. So I'll jump back to this. Anytime that you get those SSH errors, if you get like you're unable to run an apt update, you're unable to do an apt upgrade, and it's telling you that secure SSL certificates are bad. If you're going on the internet from a device and it says that the SSL certificates are bad, first thing you want to do is check your date and time on your computer.
Right. With
a single board computer, it's especially true because a lot of them don't have a real-time clock battery built in. Some don't even have a real-time clock.
Oh. So
but if you plug a battery into ones that do support it, then it will maintain that time once you've set it.
Right.
Otherwise, you just want to keep it on a UPS so that it doesn't lose the time, or install NTP or something like that. So every time it reboots, it checks with the internet servers and downloads the time.
Yes.
But to do it quickly, first of all, let's verify that that's the problem. I'm going to just simply type date. And I see, lo and behold, it's November 3rd, 2016.
Wow.
So that is
Time
what my
travel.
board thinks. So, yeah, I mean, this is a board that I just unboxed, right? So it's never been powered on, and the system clock thinks it's 2016. That's fine. They didn't even exist back then, I don't think. But let's figure out how to actually set that time. Now, you can go through the hoops, or you can use a tool that I created, which I call my Linux time setting nerdgasm. So if you head over to baldnerd.com/nerdgasms, just like it sounds, and on my nerdgasms list, you will find set Linux time and date. And all this does is it makes it really, really easy for you to just, hey, choose your time zone, and then it will give you two commands. One is one that will just set your time right now, or two is an automated script that will actually download the time in real time from my server. But the safest thing is just to set the time. So let's grab this command, and you'll notice that the clock is actually ticking. So it's real time to when I hit copy. And then jump over here and right click to paste, and it did it.
Right.
So now you'll see, having right clicked in PuTTY, it pasted that command that I copied from Bald Nerd's Nerdgasm at baldnerd.com. And now it's Wednesday, February 27th, as we record this, the real time, 2019. So now if I do apt update, presumably
It should work.
well, yeah, that's the hope. There you go. No errors that time. Right? So we know, hey, that's all it was, is my system clock was wrong. If I type date now, I can see it is now 2019. Now the system knows that it's 2019. That's good. Apt upgrade, you know, you want to do your typical Debian stuff, upgrade your system. It says, oh, there are some automatically installed packages that are not needed. So apt auto remove. You can do some cleanup. Do whatever you need to do, whatever. We're not going to bother with it tonight, but it's Debian.
Right.
It's a Linux server. You can do everything that you need to do. But what we're going to do here is we're going to actually create a BitTorrent seed server. It's going to have two effects for us. One, it's going to allow us to download full seasons of Category 5 technology TV on a little device like this.
Very cool.
Two,
yeah.
It's going to allow us to then be part of that community in sharing our download with other people who are trying to download it.
Very cool.
Because that's what's really cool about BitTorrent. If I give you my files, then you can give it to the next person. And if 10 people say to you, oh, I want those files, you can say, okay, here, I'll give you a copy, and I'll give you a copy, and I'll give you a copy. That's how BitTorrent works.
Right.
Now, you've heard BitTorrent, and you've thought, oh, well, isn't that illegal? No. It has been used. The technology has been used in the past for illegal purposes because it's such a brilliant mechanism for distribution.
Right.
So you think about, hey, how would it be best to distribute illegal copies of movies? BitTorrent would be a great way to do that. That's not what we're doing. What we are doing is we're actually we're showing you that you can do this with legitimate files. You can download Linux distributions. You can download NEMS Linux. You can download full seasons of Category 5 technology TV and other Category 5 shows absolutely free and store them on here. So the first thing that we need to do, Sasha, is we need to actually make sure that the hard drive is working, because right now we haven't actually done anything with the SSD that we've connected.
Right.
So let's jump into our terminal, and we're going to go ls/dev/sd star, and I see that there is a SD, which is a like an SATA drive, and there's one of them, which obviously is the case here. So we know SDA1 is the first partition on SDA, the hard drive, the SSD, I should say, the Kingston drive that I installed there. I can confirm that. I can go fdisk/dev/sda. and then P, and I can see there is an exFAT file system there of 894.3 gigs. Cool.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to just quit that, Control-C is fine. And I'm going to actually format that because I don't want the exFAT file system. Remember that as I format something, I'm wiping it.
Right.
I know that that drive is safe to wipe. Yeah. I don't need to back up the files on it. I'm about to destroy everything. So I'm going to make file system.ext3, I suppose. I could do ext4. ext3 is fine, /dev/sda1. Now keep in mind when you're creating a file system, you're formatting on Linux, you want to specify the partition. Because it's the first partition, SDA1, not SDA, because that's the drive. If I format that, I'm not going to be able to use it.
Right.
You have to use a partition. So now I'm going to create that. It contains an exFAT file system. Are you sure? Yeah. Yes. All right. Discarding device blocks and presumably reusing them for my Odroid HC1. So is it flashing away? It's just working away. Operating that hard drive, doing its thing. There we go. Wow, did you guys think that you were all going to be watching a format operation on Category 5 TV tonight?
Riveting.
I know. It's just awesome. You wanted more Linux? Watch the MakeFS screen, folks. And watch it discard device blocks.
That's right. Here we are.
And I'll just I'll pause it there and then we'll be like, oh, look, it just astonishingly finished. You know what I mean?
So, like, post-produced, you should probably make note that it might not go so fast as they...
Oh, yes. It's a terabyte hard drive, so could take a while.
We got time.
Wait for it. Almost there, folks. Well, we're halfway there. So what do you guys have for dinner?
It's time to pop more popcorn.
Hey, yeah, bathroom break. We're at 1.3 billion.
Billion.
Yeah. How are you for coffee? Oh, you're almost done.
I could actually. Do we have time that I could?
Yeah. Do you want me to pour you a coffee, or you're gonna do it?
I can do it.
Yeah. All right. You're wireless. Yeah. You go do it.
I got this.
Why do you need me to do it?
Here we go. Just let me know if I end up missing anything over there.
Nothing. Is Discord working? Give me a heart.
I think I just saw Marshman on it just a second ago.
Yeah. Roasted chicken. Nice. Ah.
I'm hungry.
You know, I would love to go for a roasted chicken. My household is vegan or vegetarian, but not me.
I think it wasn't on, so now it has to wait, right?
No, you just have to open it and close it.
Oh.
Because having been off first, it thinks that you never...
Oh, I don't know how to
You put
do
a pot
this.
in there, right?
Yeah, I did.
So being surrounded by vegans and vegetarians...
Who are the best sort?
They're terrible. I'm talking about Sasha. Sasha's a vegetarian. But so I feel out of place.
You know...
but I say that because I would love to have a roast chicken, like a real roast chicken dinner.
Yeah.
And I would be the only one to eat it, so...
Right.
You make the gravy
Dave's go-to when I'm not cooking dinner is
Yeah.
he cooks himself chicken when I'm not cooking for us. When I cook for us, I cook vegetarian.
Yeah.
And then for himself, he cooks just bacon and chicken. Pretty much like chicken with bacon on the side is his life when I'm not there. All the meat.
Bacon. Marshman, I'm there with you. It's almost done. It's creating the journal.
Oh.
But I need a coffee too. So folks, this is break time. Break time. Did you even know?
We're union
now. Did you know
now.
we were going to have a break? It's just finished.
Oh, well,
so we'll
my
be
coffee's
like,
not finished.
Look, it's done.
Oh, nice. That was fast.
Exactly. That's the reaction that I want, Sasha. So, well practiced. And people will be like, oh, how come the chat room is full of bacon and roasted chicken?
Okay, almost there.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. How are we for water in the reservoir? Is there enough for another coffee? Or do
there's
I need
that much to here.
Yeah, that's probably enough for another coffee, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's not instant, but it does a really nice cup of coffee.
I will tell you, I have a drip coffee machine.
Yeah.
That I set up. Can I just get this out of here?
Yeah, you can get it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I set it up. It starts brewing coffee at 4:45, which is when my alarm goes off in the morning. And I am unhappy about the alarm going off at 4:45, but immediately super happy that I hear my coffee pot like
Isn't that
click
just
on.
a joyous feeling?
And I'm like, okay, I can do
somebody
this
has to
day.
make
It's not 5
an
o'clock.
automatic machine that will fry bacon for me at 4:45 in the morning. Could you imagine waking up to that smell every morning at 4:45?
I feel like Dave would die and go to heaven.
Your alarm
if
is
there was
like, and then suddenly you smell bacon and you're like, sweet.
It's just like out of your alarm clock comes like one crispy piece of bacon.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Wake up to one piece of bacon.
Yeah.
Jump in the shower.
Could
Bingo,
I have
bango.
3 pieces of bacon?
No, you just get one to get you out. If you had 3, you'd stay in bed all day.
Could they be strategically placed around the house?
Around the house.
Like so
Make
that you
it to
have
the
to
next
actually get up
location and get your reward.
Like there's a shampoo, conditioner, bacon dispenser in the shower.
You have completed the task of morning hygiene. Have your bacon reward.
Oh, Sasha, for a vegetarian, you are smart.
I am married to a bacon lover. Wow. For a vegetarian, I'm smart. I am on a delay for my offense taking.
I was wondering if you would catch that statement or not.
Oh, I did catch it.
Yeah.
I'm not retaliating.
I'm not entirely sure yet if my wife is watching, but I will know when I get home.
That's
if she's standing there at the front door with her arms crossed and the outdoor lights off.
That's right. Aha, she's been watching.
Oh, dear.
Oh, now I'm slurping my coffee.
Slurping?
Slurping
it. Okay, Tassimo complete. How do you like that coffee? That's a new brand I have.
Would an Instant Pot be like something new in the tech world?
No.
Oh. I made a really good lasagna in my Instant Pot, but let's get back to the show.
Oh, that's so nice. Beautiful. It's got a nice toasty flavor, right?
It does.
We have a Tassimo that just makes us a nice cup of coffee. I hate them for their waste, but they make a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah, you can buy pods that are biodegradable.
In Tassimo?
I don't know.
No, in Keurig.
I don't know. I don't know the things.
Tassimo, the problem is that they designed pods that are death to the environment.
Oh.
So.
Well, now I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, but they make really good coffee.
Yeah.
Better than Keurig.
I don't know.
Plain and simple, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, enough about bacon and coffee. We're all craving breakfast now. Gosh. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. It's finished.
That was fast.
That was super fast. Actually, truth be told, we paused things, and through the magic of television, we just kind of expedited and jumped right back to it, but our drive is now formatted.
You're welcome.
So this is just kind of quick Linux tip. It has nothing really to do with the Odroid HC1, but hey, we're learning Linux here as much as anything else tonight. So we want to type BLKID. BLKID shows us the UUID of devices in our system, and we want to look for that SDA1. See that? Mm-hmm. We have a UUID that is right there. That's what I want. The reason that I want that is I want to be able to mount this thing automatically at boot time.
Right.
So I've got to create a folder to mount it to. We're going to call this our mount point. So let's jump into home/... No, there is no home folder because we are logged in as root. That's the only user. We're not going to get into security practices here. I'm just going to leave things as root for today. You probably want to create a Linux user and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into that step of things. This is running as root, which I don't like. For now, just for the sake of this, keep in mind I want you to create a user that will go into your home folder instead. But for today, should we just do it?
Do it.
User add, I think, -D, Robbie. No, user add user. Is it invalid home directory? Robbie.
Nobody said yet, but it'll happen.
Oh.
The chat room will be.
Okay, user add Robbie, password Robbie, and I'll give myself a password. I better know it.
That'd be a real Sasha move. I set up my last pass and forgot my password.
Okay, so now user add -D home Robbie. No, how do you create the directory? Just Robbie? Oh, invalid home directory Robbie. What? Okay, well I'm just gonna cheat. Home Robbie, make dir home Robbie, as CHON Robbie Robbie home Robbie. Okay, SU-Robbie, and now I'm Robbie. Hey, look at me. Who am I, Robbie? Okay, at least I may not know all the commands off the top of my head, but at least
at least you know who you are.
At least I know who I am, and I'm teaching you semi-good Linux practices in that I don't want you doing this as root because that's stupid. Okay, make a directory here. I'm Robbie now, so make dir and I will. Okay, I'm just going to say this for the record. I'm going to post below in the description the correct command to create the home folder the correct way as I'm creating the user. It's slipping my mind, and I just want to move on to the actual demonstration here. I'm going to call this SSD. All right, so now I've got a folder in. Well, if I go in there, you'll see CD SSD. PWD. There you go. home/Robbie/SSD. So now I'm going to exit, so I'm root again, and then BLKID. I need to grab that UUID from dev/SDA1. That's the SSD hard drive. Understand what I'm doing because I'm probably talking a bit of gibberish. Feel free to just kick me under the table and just say, Robbie, you're talking gibberish.
I follow and I catch little things, and then my mind goes like...
I want to be able to save files to the SSD drive.
Right.
Otherwise, if I don't do these steps, I'm not actually utilizing the fact that this has an SSD drive connected to the SATA connector.
Right.
Right? The hard drive.
I catch that.
So if I do anything, if I save any files or anything else, it's going to save it to the SD card, which is 16 gigs. SD cards are not very reliable. You don't want a lot of input-output.
Right.
So I want to step away from that by telling it to use the hard drive. So the UUID is the unique identifier of the hard drive partition dev/SDA1, which we determined is the SSD's first partition, which we formatted as ext3. So now I want to go nano. Remember, I'm root again because I exited Robbie. Nano/etc/fs tab. And here, I want to just type, you know what I can do is I can just grab that first line. No, I'll type it. UUID equals, and then I right-click because I'm in putty, but you need to paste some way that UUID that I grabbed. And then hit tab, /home/Robbie/SSD. This is the mount point that I've created, so that's where I want it to actually mount to. And then the file system type is ext3. And then... let's just grab the same info as the first, the actual SSD here, which I've just highlighted and then pasted. Need a space there. What is it doing there? Errors. Let's jump out. Boom, boom. Errors, remount -RO means that it's going to remount the drive as a read-only drive if there is an error.
Oh, okay.
No A time means that it's not going to write the access time as you access files. That is something that's good for SSDs, SD cards, because every time you touch a file, every time you open a file, it saves an access time.
So that fills it up, or
no,
what?
But it
happens?
it writes to it.
Oh.
And again, input-output. There's a finite number of input-outputs on the drive,
okay.
so you're decreasing the lifespan of the drive.
Got it.
So no A time says it's gonna not do that, and it's not gonna wear out the drive as quick. Discard, I'm not sure on 0, 1. I can't remember the order. That's the order of scanning the drives. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. Not a comprehensive demonstration of using FSTab. We do have those, though, on our website, category5.tv. And, of course, Discord over on the right-hand side of your screen. It's going to tell you a little bit. Control-O to save, Control-X to exit, and then Mount-A. If all worked, nothing happened. CD/home/Robbie, LS per LAH, SSD. Mount. Pipe, grep, SSD. Look at that. SDA1 is mounted on SSD. So now if I go into that folder, there's a lost and found. If I touch a file, test, LS, there's test. Now watch, if I unmount it, you mount, SSD, now go back into it, where'd everything go? Right? Because it's not mounted. Because that is the drive, the SSD hard drive. This SSD, that's an oxymoron, but the SSD drive, right?
Yeah.
So now we have a place that we can save things that is a solid state drive. Now,
super cool.
I want to actually create a server. This is going to be quick. Don't worry. I know we're out of time. We're way out of time. But this is going to be quick.
Okay.
We're going to now take this system and we're going to turn it into a torrent server. So I'm going to go apt. Now, I already did apt update, but it's been a while, so I'm going to apt update again. Because, hey, if they update something in the repositories, I want it. Apt install transmission-daemon. Daemon Bach. Transmission is a great tool for working with BitTorrents. Typically, it's a GTK application that allows you to download BitTorrent in your GUI.
Okay.
Right? But we're doing it without a head, without a monitor, without X, without anything. There's no display.
Yeah.
We just want it running as a server. So now that we've installed it, we can just type systemctl start transmission -daemon, and there's no response because it should presumably be working. So we know that we are at 10.0.0.148, and now the port. So :9091 is going to take me into transmission, but it says, wait a minute, 403 forbidden. That's good because, hey, if it wasn't installed correctly, let's jump on to 9090. We'd see that it just spins, and then it says this site can't be reached. Well, no, it is reached. It's just rejecting us. Why is it rejecting us? Unauthorized IP address. How cool is that? So it actually has security in place that says we won't allow anyone to access our BitTorrent server unless they are authenticated by IP address.
Right.
I'm on the internal LAN, so I'm going to actually set that up right now by figuring out my IP address. So my laptop, and jump into my terminal. I'm on Windows 10. IP config all. Wow, lots. We got Hyper-V and everything else. Let's jump up here. 10.0.0.139 is me. So now, first thing I need to do is systemctl stop transmission-daemon. Do that. Do not forget to stop the daemon, because if you make any changes to the configuration, they will not be saved. Because the daemon is running and it has the configuration loaded. You have to stop the daemon first. Then nano etc/ transmission -daemon, I suppose, / and there should be a file called settings.json. There we go. Now, if we scroll down a little ways, we're going to see, and it shows you here what we're actually looking for, RPC-whitelist. So go down to RPC-whitelist. RPC port, RPC password, username, whitelist. RPC whitelist. Localhost is enabled, but my IP is not. So I'm just going to go comma 10.0.0. Did I say 139?
I don't know.
You don't know? Let's try it. Fantastic. Again, Control-O to save, Control-X to exit. Now, start the daemon again. Systemctl, start transmission daemon. Now if I refresh, did I get the IP right? Yes!
Nice!
It's asking me for a username and password. Username, transmission. Password, transmission. Enter. Now we have
so cool.
an up and running BitTorrent client server for seeding, for downloading, everything. We can set it up to save to that SSD, but we need to do that again in this configuration. So let's stop. And let's go back to editing that settings.json file. And let's see where it's actually saving to. Downloads dir. It's going into var lib transmission daemon downloads. Let's change that. Home, Robbie, SSD. Let's call this torrents. Okay?
All right.
Now, I need to make dir home, Robbie, SSD, torrents. Remember, it is mounted right now. chown-r, Robbie, I presume is going to be okay. Home, Robbie, SSD, torrents. I wonder if there's a transmission group or user. Groups around transmission. Let's try it anyways. So, okay, so start. Now that I've set the folder and I've given it ownership by Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's refresh. Okay, so now head on over to torrent.category5.tv and let's grab, say, season 11. Just copy link address and then open that in your new server. Enter the URL. There you go. Destination folder. Look at that.
Cool.
Stored it automatically. Start when added. Upload. Okay, let's see if it works. I'm going to jump back to my terminal. LS. Okay, LS torrents. Nothing there. Nothing there. So. Oh, it's coming. Is it? No, error. Permission denied.
Oh.
Permission denied because Robbie is not the user who is running transmission GTK. So I'm going to do a really, really quick search here. Let's jump up here. Transmission GTK user. Debian. Let's see if it shows us the default user here. I'm sure there's a quick way to find this. Transmission. It feels like it's transmission. Is there a transmission user? chown. Transmission. No, invalid user. Okay, I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to figure it out. Cool?
Yeah, cool.
All right, sorry.
No, that's all right.
I need to use awk, I think. Find PID. PS, right. DAR. Okay, looks like it is transmission-daemon. I was right with my first guess. Invalid user. Not running as transmission-daemon. Debian. No, it's an invalid user. You know what? Can I cheat?
Yeah,
I don't want to do anything that's not good security practice here, guys. Like I can do 755. What would you guys suggest in the Discord? Who's the owner of the original? var lib transmission daemon downloads. The owner is root. No, it's Debian transmission. Okay.
There we go.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Let's try it. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do here is I want to try to give you good security practices. I'm not genius at it, but I know that like we're not going to give it 777 permissions. That's nonsense. That's very, very dangerous. Don't ever do that. If someone tells you, yes, it will work, but we're not going to do that. So what I just did is I looked at the original file, ls var lib transmission daemon / downloads, and I did -lah, and I see it was actually owned by Debian -transmission. So I'm going to try that, chown -r Debian -transmission : Debian -transmission home Robbie, in my case, SSD torrents, I called that. There we go. So now if I do systemctl restart transmission -daemon, what did I spell wrong? Transmission. I might need an S in there. There we go. Okay, so now it's restarted. Let's jump back to transmission here. Refresh. Right-click and try resume. Okay, I'm just going to remove... Oh, no. Is it going? No. Okay, I'm going to remove it. Remove. And I'm going to try again. Now that I've set the correct permissions.
Right.
That's key, folks, because what I did there, understand, from a Linux perspective, I set the permissions of the folder as Robbie, but transmission doesn't have the ability to write to anything that's owned by Robbie. Okay, let's hope.
Should work now.
Let's see.
It's going to go.
And if I jump back here and I look in torrents, it should create a folder automatically if everything worked out. Oh. Okay, it got a little bit of data there. I'm going to go watch ls torrents. It's got it. Category 5 Technology TV Season 11. So if I go in there, look at that. There it comes. Season 11. And it is storing on my SSD. Right?
Beauty.
How lovely is that? So here it comes, folks. Downloading at 520 kilobytes per second. Nice. And now once it's downloaded it, I become what's called a seed. So
That's
now
right.
anyone else who wants to download it can share the downloading from my server, which is right there on an Odroid HC1.
Incredible. It's such a good concept.
This thing is so cool. I'm just showing you one little thing that you can do with an HC1. Of course, it can be whatever. As a NAS, just set up Samba, and you've got an in-house way to share your files from an SSD. You learned a lot tonight. Hopefully you were able to follow. If you have any questions, do send us an email or join us on Discord. Head on over to our website, category5.tv. There are lots of ways to interact with us. But check out the HC1. You can get one at cat5.tv/odroid.
Perfect.
I am in love with that device. I can't wait to fire it up and just leave it running. That's going to be a nice little torrent seeder for Category 5 Technology TV.
Very cool.
Yeah. You ready?
I am.
All right.
Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category5.tv newsroom. A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users for 14 years. Ready for another fright? Spectre flaws in today's computer chips can be exploited to run stealthy malware. A pair of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise servers sent up to the International Space Station in August 2017 as an experiment have still not come back to Earth 3 months after their intended return. And Microsoft's HoloLens 2 has been announced for $3,500 and is available to pre-order now to ship out later this year. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
Holy heck biscuits.
That whole time that you were doing that, I kept thinking, Dur. Like before I was married, my last name was Dermatis, and people mispronounced it all the time. But I feel like programmers, all Linux users, should have been able to say my last name just properly. Because DIR. Dur.
DIR?
Yeah, it was Dermatis.
What does dir mean?
Directory?
But in Linux we call them folders.
I don't know. Let's use it as something dir. Something dir. I don't know.
That's command prompt in
So?
close. Command in Windows or DOS. DIR. But we use LS.
You put dir a whole bunch in there. DIR.
Dir?
Dir.
Dir?
Dir. You
Damon.
did it. Ender.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Was I just being derpy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Beautiful.
Do, do, do.
Look at that. I should really kill the bandwidth usage now. So, hey, there's going to be another seed server for us. Beautiful. That is awesome.
I promised there was dir in there. See?
Okay, so back to news. Sasha full. There you go.
Was I smaller before?
Yeah, I think you must have been slouched.
I guess I must slouch.
Yeah, you gotta not slouch when I'm setting up cameras.
Oh, because I was reading the news when you were setting up the camera, so I was
look up. So look at the teleprompter. See, that's good.
Yeah.
But let's fix your microphone, if I may.
Okay.
Can you just give that a tug down behind your back?
I don't know where it is.
Just a gentle tug.
I just had to find it.
There
and
we
stop. Go. Okay.
There. Perfect. Okay. Are you ready?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users for 14 years. If you're one of the 500...
Do you want me... I'll stop you, because I know you were having trouble with...
I can't... RAR. I can't.
Think RAR.
Think... Ronald the race car driver.
RAR.
I can't.
WinRAR. Unace.
I wonder if you know that I have a speech impediment with R's.
It's a very common
impediment.
Well, like there's
RAR. I can't.
There are folks who say L instead of R, and I think it's because letters have different pronunciations in different languages. So to read RAR might be la.
I don't know. But for me, it's R's in the middle of words. I realize that we're running really behind, but see, Marshman remembers. I can't. R's in the middle of words I have trouble with. Beginning and end, good.
So think of it as two words then. Win for Windows.
RAR.
RAR.
As long as I can pause it. WinRAR.
You can't pause it.
WinRAR.
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 I none it W's.
It's tough, eh?
Yeah, well, this is your fault. You wrote the story.
Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't make the software name. Unace version 2 v2.dll. Unace v2.
Well, I'll get that one right.
WinRAR. 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 Like a lion. Jalen wants to remind you, say it like a lion.
RAR.
WinRAR.
I know, but...
Say it like a pirate.
RAR.
WinRAR. Arr.
I'm one of those people who would never name my child like Rachel or something.
Rachel.
Because I know they would probably take after me and never be able to say their name. Okay. I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users for 14 years. If you're one of the 500 million WinRAR users, now would be a good time to patch. WinRAR.
Why do I do this to you?
WinRAR, a Windows file compression.
You okay?
No, Windows file compression. You may end up doing this one.
How would I do that?
I can do it.
No, you can do it. WinRAR. Say it with me. WinRAR.
WinRAR.
WinRAR. So
WinRAR.
So here you go. Here you go. A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users.
Yeah.
For 14 years.
Yeah.
If you're one of the 500 million WinRAR users, now would be the time to patch. WinRAR, a Windows file. Just say it. WinRAR.
WinRAR.
I don't know if I'm being helpful or not.
0% helpful right now.
WinRAR. Say it with me.
WinRAR.
WinRAR.
No. WinRAR.
WinRAR.
Can we just have 4 stories today?
There are 4 stories.
Listen,
This is the first one. We're only on the first one, Sash.
I'm going to mispronounce this word. Whatever. It's going to happen. I'm just not going to be able to say it properly.
Well, how can you do it any other way? Just tackle it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a boss. Like a boss. Yeah, you can do it.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users for 14 years. If you're one of the 500 million WinRAR users, now would be a good time to patch. I can't do it.
Sasha, you totally can. If you need to, just tell the viewers, you know what? I have trouble saying WinRAR, but I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Okay. Can I just, before we start the first story, just tell everybody? Okay, that's good. I'm Sasha.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
And like you could, yeah, you do. This is your
this is
your
painful.
Thing. You know what
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's not painful. It's wonderful.
Okay. I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. Before I start the first story, I will tell you that I do have a speech impediment with R's. So,
with the R's.
This is a big, important story about WinRAR, which I am going to say wrong at some point.
WinRAR is like an old archiving tool, but people still use it on Windows.
People who can say their R's.
So, full disclosure, total disclaimer.
Exactly. I'm going to do my very best.
It might be WinRAR.
It might be.
It's fine.
WinRAR.
It could be anything.
I'm going to do my super best. Bear with me. It's WinRAR. Every time it sounds kind of odd. Okay.
All right.
A nasty code execution bug in WinRAR threatened millions of users for 14 years. If you're one of the 500 million WinRAR users, now would be a good time to patch. WinRAR, a Windows file compression program with 500 million users worldwide, recently fixed a more than 14-year-old vulnerability that made it possible for attackers to execute malicious code when targets opened a booby-trapped file. The vulnerability was the result of an absolute patch transversal flaw that resided in UNACE version 2.dll, a third-party code library that hasn't been updated since 2005. The traversal made it possible for archive files to extract to a folder of the archive creator's choosing rather than the folder chosen by the person using the program. Because the third-party library doesn't make use of the exploit mitigations such as address space layout randomization, there was little preventing exploits. The most obvious path is to have an executable file extracted to the Windows startup folder where it would run on the next reboot. It was easy to bypass Windows permissions required to write to that folder. In release notes published late last month, WinRAR officials said they patched the vulnerability. They said UNACE version 2.dll had not been updated since 2005, and we do not have access to its source code. So we decided to drop ACE archive format support to protect security of WinRAR users. The code execution vulnerability in WinRAR has existed the entire 14 years since the UNACE version 2 library was created, and possibly earlier.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
A couple of points that this brings up for me. One, how many other tools out there used UNACE? Like ACE is another archival format.
Right.
Okay, so you've got zip, you've got tar.gz, you've got 7-zip, you've got all the RAR.
Yeah.
Right? So, WinRAR, like 7-zip and other tools, want to be the, like everybody install this and you can unzip, unarchive everything. So they include UNACE. And 14 years it took them to discover this. Yet it's such a common practice. I can't believe it. Like tar.gz has for ages. So if you try to create a tar file and you include a path that starts with a slash, it will say stripping away the leading slash because it's protecting the unarchived process from going into folders that you have not allowed it to traverse.
Right.
Obviously, UNACE did not have that same level of protection.
For a long time.
14 years.
That's bananas.
I wonder how much this was exploited. So if someone could put this file, like a malicious file, in that archive and have it extract to anywhere. Anywhere. the startup folder is just a great example.
Yeah. But it could be, anything, anywhere.
But how many other tools are using that on ACE? I mean, it's an old product, right?
But still, I mean...
You don't really need it. Some people install WinRAR, or WinZip is another example. They'll install WinZip thinking that they need it in order to unzip zip files. No, you haven't for a long time. RAR's different because that's their own format. So you have to have their tool or something on Linux or something like that. 7-zip is a good one.
See, 7-zip, I can say that.
Why couldn't the story have been about 7-zip, she says. Yeah, you made it through real good.
Hey, thanks. Woo, thanks for your patience. Ready for another fright? Spectre flaws in today's computer chips can be exploited to hide and run stealthy malware. Spectre, the security vulnerabilities in modern CPU speculative execution engines can be exploited to steal sensitive data. Just won't die quietly in the IT world. Its unwelcomed persistence isn't merely a consequence of the long lead time required to implement mitigations in chip architecture. It also sustained by its ability to inspire novel attack techniques. The latest of these appeared in a paper presented at the Network and Distributed Systems Security Symposium in San Diego, California on Monday. Co-authored by 3 computer science researchers from the University of Colorado, the paper, Spectre, Hiding Malware in Speculative Execution, describes a way to compile malicious code into a seemingly innocuous payload binary so it can be executed through speculative execution without detection. Speculative execution is a technique in modern processors that's used to improve performance alongside out-of-order execution and branch prediction. CPUs will speculate about future instructions and execute them, keeping the results and saving time if they've guessed the program path correctly, and discarding them if not. But last year's Spectre flaws showed that sensitive transient data arising from these forward-looking calculations can be abused. Now it turns out that this feature of the chip architecture can be used to conceal malicious computation. The researchers have devised a way in which a payload program and a trigger program can interact to perform concealed calculations. The payload and trigger program would be installed through commonly used attack vectors such as a Trojan or phishing scam. When a trigger program runs on the same machine as is infected with the payload, it tricks the CPU's branch predictor, causing the payload program to speculatively execute its malicious bidding. The result is stealth malware. It defies detection through current reverse engineering techniques because it executes in a transient environment not accessible to static or dynamic analysis used by most current security engines. Even if the trigger program is detected and removed, the payload code will remain operating. The researchers have reiterated what may have already been stated. These flaws need to be addressed in the chips themselves. Until then, they expect malicious parties to create variants of their proof of concept malware technique.
Ooh.
That's scary stuff.
I've never even, as you're telling this story, Sasha, it's crossing my mind, and it never has, how this type of technique could be used to trick AI into performing malicious tasks. Like, understand, like the processors on your computer are meant, they're trying to make them fast.
Right.
So they add predictive technology to make it think ahead what's coming.
Right.
Oh, I think you're going to ask for this, so I'm going to prepare it and be ready to do it.
And then if you don't, ding, it just doesn't. Yeah.
But if you do, well, it's already ready.
Yeah.
It's already done. I've got it. Boom, done.
Yeah.
It seems fast. So if we can maliciously trick it into making that a payload, which is exactly what the researchers have accomplished.
Wow.
That's frightening. Now take that and put it into artificial intelligence and say, okay, we've got AI that is basically the ultimate predictive technology. It is thinking for itself. It is making decisions for itself, which is exactly what machine learning is. It's learning for itself.
Right.
It's creating its own algorithms. So if you can cause machine learning to create its own algorithms because that is its design, then what's to stop a malicious party from tricking the artificial intelligence into creating algorithms that are malicious.
Right.
I've never made that connection before now. And now I just want to find a dark place somewhere to hide.
They're saying chip manufacturers are the ones that have to actually...
It's a hardware flaw.
Yeah, so...
I mean, but how do you stop it?
Right. I guess you can't stop it going backwards, but you could... Reverse. Exactly, but going forward, you could have better practice, but then does that even...
Slow down the processors? People wouldn't have it. We'll go with the previous generation because they're faster.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
You know, it's true. So then we got to get into new computational models. And that's what they're pushing for.
All true.
But yeah, it comes down to the hardware manufacturers.
It's unsettling.
Yes, it is. Yes, it indeed is.
A pair of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise servers sent up to the International Space Station in August 2017 as an experiment have still not come back to Earth 3 months after their intended return. Is that, again, a pair? Okay.
It's okay if you say it twice.
Okay.
I'll edit.
Yeah,
how's that?
Okay, let's do that. A pair of Hewlett-Packard Linux system that has supercomputer processing power. They were sent up to see how durable they would be in space with minimal specialist treatment. After 530 days, they are still working. Their return flight was postponed after a Russian rocket failed in October 2018. HPE senior content architect Adrian Kasbergen said that they may return in June 2019 if there is space on a flight, but right now they haven't got a ticket. The company is working with NASA to be computer ready for the first manned Mars flight, estimated to take place in about 2030. The company is also working with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Currently, the 20-year-old machines controlling the ISS return data to Earth for processing. This is possible because it takes less than a second to get the data back. But on a Mars mission, the time taken for a data round trip will grow to more than 40 minutes as the planet is millions of miles away. That means the data processing will have to be done on the spaceship itself. The space-borne computer is currently embedded in the ceiling of the ISS. They were placed in an airtight box with a radiator that is hooked up to the ISS water cooling system. Hot air from the computer is guided through the radiator to cool down and then circulated back. But there have been problems with the redundancy power supply as well as some of the redundant solid-state drives. The devices will need to be inspected back on Earth to find out what went wrong.
I love that they're planning so much for the Mars missions.
So let's test this, make sure it's ready for Mars.
2 weeks. I'm just getting ready for it. 2 weeks. If you get the reference, I'll send you a cookie.
Yeah. I'd get no cookie.
Okay.
But what is cool about this is that they're still working up there. I mean, there's been some, you know.
Yeah, well, it's Linux. I mean, it's die-hard,
it's awesome.
Right? Yeah, it's got redundant power supplies and redundant SSDs and everything else. But I wonder what could cause them to fail up there. I mean...
radiation particles, zapping.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But also the other thing is that, you know, you talked about the space station's current computers, which are old and slow, 20 years old. They cost millions of dollars to install those. Yeah. Right? Like back in the day, 20 years ago, right? Now they can send something up, Hewlett-Packard sends something up, and it just costs like thousands of dollars to do that. Like, to manufacture the hardware. Yeah. The cost has come down so far. So to be able to send up something that's the power of a supercomputer, and it can just be sent up into space, and they're wondering what's going on with it. Like, there are a couple of issues, but it's still operational. It's still sending data back and still working. So the
first Linux computer on Mars, right? Well,
there's Spark servers up there. There are other Linux machines up there. Yeah. I don't know if there's any Windows on Mars right now. I doubt it. It'd crash.
Crash landing. Must be Windows.
There's definitely some Spark up there. There's some Power PCs up there. And I guess they'd be running like a form of Unix. Okay. It's kind of like a predecessor to Linux. So, yeah, there's lots of stuff up there. It's just getting the people there now.
Right.
And see, how we can communicate back and how we can call for help.
Well, you're looking for help on Mars if you're living on Mars. You're not calling Earth for help. That's for sure.
Send help. If it takes 40 minutes to get the transmission,
right,
let alone the people.
Please hold. Yeah. Your request is being held in priority sequence.
As Elon Musk said, it's a one-way trip.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Microsoft's HoloLens 2 has been announced for $3,500 and is available to pre-order now to ship out later this year. Comfort, better visuals, and easier to use with your hands. That's the takeaway from HoloLens 2, Microsoft's follow-up to the space-age goggles it announced 4 years ago. The technology behind the $3,500 HoloLens 2 device, which Microsoft calls mixed reality, overlays computer images on the real world. Imagine arrows directing you down the street as you walk, or repair instructions floating over a machine as you fix it. That's mixed reality's promise, according to Microsoft. The company was the pioneer in augmented reality world when the tech giant debuted its first headset in 2015, charging companies $5,000 apiece for the gadget. Since then, rival devices, such as the $2,295 Magic Leap, have come on the scene. At prices like that, MR headsets are far more expensive than the competing VR technology currently on the market. Facebook's Oculus Rift, for example, is $349, HTC's Vive is $499, and Sony's PlayStation VR is $299. You have to buy a computer or a PlayStation 4 console to power these VR devices. But even then, their prices are at least half what Microsoft or Magic Leap are asking. That hasn't deterred Microsoft from designing an improved headset as part of its push into the now far busier AR universe. The company says HoloLens still isn't ready for you and me to use at home, though. Instead, Microsoft is focused on companies and the military. But that has stirred employee dissent. As of yesterday, more than 250 employees have signed an open letter denouncing the deal. Aside from that caveat, Microsoft has made some welcome improvements to the device, which goes on pre-order Sunday and will be shipping later this year. So does that mean I could order it and have it? Or I have to be part of the...
You want to pre-order it and do it.
Yeah.
AR
well, you know I want
neat.
to. AR
so
sounds
cool.
like the best thing ever, actually.
So virtual reality being like you are immersed in a virtual environment and everything that you do and see is virtual.
Right.
Augmented reality or this particular type of technology is like interacting in your world with virtual things. So looking at it from a perspective of like industry, being able to like, let's say I'm manufacturing something, and now with my augmented reality, I can overlay and see how this is supposed to line up. And so now I can actually line it up the way that it's supposed to be because I can actually see it. I can see how I'm supposed to do it in front of me. And now with the HoloLens 2, that's all you need.
Right.
And it tracks your hands and it tracks your movement in such a way that it's like genius, the way that it's able to just, it's a headset, and that's...
And I feel like it's good for people who have like even safety issues. Like if I were going into like a concert or a busy spot and I wanted to know where the exits are, they would be automatically like there. Or I could say how many people are in this room, like automatically, because it could sense and tell and count probably, right? So directions, you'd never get lost again.
Think about gaming though.
Right.
Yeah, directions is cool.
Or knowing when something is done, like cooked, it just can tell you by looking at it. Yep, that's ready.
Normal eyes do that too, but it's kind of interesting. I think gaming, like, I mean, being able to play a game on your tabletop.
Right.
Being able to take the pieces and move them even though they are virtual. Right. Even though they're not physically there. So now all of a sudden it becomes your one point of entertainment where you don't need, it's like the smartphone, right?
Yeah. We
don't need a calculator anymore. We don't need this and that and all these other, a camera and a video camera and all these devices that we used to have, a Walkman.
Right.
And now you've got a phone in your pocket that does it all.
Right.
So now take a HoloLens and say, okay, well, with this technology, I no longer need a chessboard. I no longer need even a computer.
Right.
Because I can just Okay, well, I'll just interact like Minority Report.
Yeah.
And I can see that screen in front of me.
If you think about it, like for things like, say for rehab for somebody who's had a stroke, say, and they can't write any longer, but it can show you, you know, because you can see with your eyes what your hands should be doing, right? Learning cursive.
There are so many different things that it could be done for.
They're too expensive right now.
Phone calls. That's going to happen too, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, Mom. Holographically, she's all of a sudden in the room. You got to have your HoloLens on, but it works. Yeah.
That is bananas. It's so
cool stuff.
Love it.
Okay, should we jump into our crypto report for the week? Just to take a really quick look at how things are looking from CoinGecko. This is what it looked like as of 1800 hours Eastern Time on Wednesday, February 27th, 2019. Pretty much everything has gone down a little bit. So, you know, we were like, hey, it was on its way up. And this kind of demonstrates how the market is constantly changing. So, you know, when we say it's volatile, keep that in mind. Bitcoin went down $193.62 USD, down to $3,765.24 in the past week. Litecoin down $7.04 to $44.06. Ethereum is at $130.97. Monero at $47.69. Stellite is at 1.51 ten-thousandths of a cent.
Aww.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And Turtlecoin is the one gainer, gaining a whopping 0.07 ten-thousandths of a cent. Think about that for a second.
But it grew a little.
If we still had a penny, take a piece of your hair, and put it on that penny, and just measure it. The width of that hair. That's how much Turtlecoin gained.
It's like having a open palm and just putting like one single grain of salt. That's how much you got. But growth is growth. You're the only guy.
Slow and steady wins the race. Way to go, Turtlecoin. You are the one gainer.
Congratulations on your growth.
Fantastic. Remember, as I say, the cryptocurrency market is always volatile, and it never closes.
That's right. Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson. Thank you so much for being here again with us this week. Looking forward to seeing you again, same time, same place, 1 week from now. See you, everybody.
Countdown is on.
It starts now.
To clarify, I can say R's the beginning of words. Like Rickman, I can say.
Why do you keep calling me Wobby?
Exactly. I can say
Lobby.
R's
hey, Lobby.
At the end of a word, like car. I have problems with the middle guy.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I only poke fun because we're friends. And I can,
I know. Yeah. I just needed to explain to the viewers who are like, how can she say her name if she can't say ours? I've got...
Oh, Rickman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear Matus. How did you do that? Dear Matus.
Oh, for a long time, people were like, how do you spell it? D-I-O? Because I'd be like, they're like, how do you say your name? How do you spell your name? D-I-O. Oh? What is that? Spell it for me.
Guys, this is beautiful.
I like that. Do.
Huh? See what I'm saying?
So cool.
Heck yeah.
All right. So, let us do an intro and then home.
And then you can go home.
I know.
And I can stay here and edit for a month.
I know. I just want like a hot cup of tea.
It's good coffee though.
It is.
Finish it up. Don't waste your delicious coffee. Yeah, it is. But I got a hat on, so I'm warm. Welcome to Category 5.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV this week, Sasha.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I am.
We're going to build our own NAS unit. It is cloud connected if we want it to be. It is whatever we want it to be. It is a Debian server that pretty much fits in your pocket. But what is going to be cool about this is it holds an SSD hard drive.
So cool.
It's from Odroid. It has 8 processor cores and 2 gigs of RAM. It's basically a virtual single board computer in a NAS type enclosure. And we're going to build it ourselves after we unbox it in just a couple of moments. Stick around. They'll be like, whoa, that's trippy, but he already has it out of the box. How does he do that? It's like magic.
Magic. It's the same as when you check the time on your new device and it...
Oh, yeah.
The time is before it was ever even conceived of as an idea.
Did I say the wrong thing, Marshman?
What?
Should I do that again?
Did you say the right thing or the wrong thing?
I don't know, but I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, you can do it again.
Okay, let's do it again, because then I'll feel really good about it.
Okay.
Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This is episode number 597. This week, well, we're looking at a single board computer with a twist. It has its own enclosure, and it holds, you ready for this?
Yes.
A solid state hard drive.
No way.
Yeah. It has 8 cores, it has 2 gigs of RAM, and I've installed Debian Stretch directly on this unit. So, hey, get creative with it. You can do pretty much anything you want. Build your own NAS. Build your own server. Tonight, we're going to learn how to turn it into a BitTorrent seed server. Stick around. That's a bit better, yeah?
That was good.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Now you have 2 options.
No, I only have one. I have chosen.
You have chosen. Okay.
Yeah.
I shall say goodnight now.
All right.
Dave, I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
I know. I got up early and left to go snowboarding, so I need to get my time in on the hills.
Hey, Alexa.
Before I go to the mountains.
Give me some EDM music.
Shut down.
Playing EDM music on Amazon Music.
Turning off.
Okay. I love this little server. Wow.
It is super cool. Do you want to plug me?
Yeah, sure. I didn't, but I will.
But
There you go. You'll pull everything off the table. Alexa, skip the song. Alexa, volume 3.
WinRAR.
Yeah. WinRAR. Well, thanks, everybody. Hope you had fun. Thank you, Sasha.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well done.
Thank you.
J. Lim says goodnight.
Good night, Jalen.
Alpec says great show, Sasha.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he mentioned me in there, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell everybody I say goodnight, and I absolutely adore them all.
Sasha says goodnight, and she adores you.
Yeah.
I'm just the messenger. J. Lim doesn't show me any love. It's just like, good night, Sasha. Good night, J. Lim. Thanks for being here. Marshman, hey.
Marshman loves you. But I'm wearing my fuzzy Marshman slippers.
Oh, yeah, she's got her Marshman slippers on. She calls them Marshman slippers. I got my Marshman Robbie the Robot. Oh, good night, J. Lim. Thanks for noticing that I'm here, too. Appreciate that. That's very kind. No E-Man 5? See, I know how to say it.
You explained it earlier. It's like no man fight. Something about Greek something.
Oh, yeah? It's Greek?
No, there's... You have to go back.
Sasha's explaining it to
He
me.
explains it.
I have to go back.
Like no man fight.
No man. Oh, well, what's the E there for? I call you no E-mans. Just because I'm curious about the E. I'm not feeling better, Marshman. No. We made it through, though, didn't we, Sash?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Hi, Cyber Rat. Silent. Oh, the E is silent, Sasha.
Oh, I understand that completely.
Noman 5.
I wish most R's were silent.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't know this. I was just like, hey, my thing came apart in my pocket.
Oh, it has a twisty thing.
It has a twisty thing, Sasha just told me. You guys didn't know this? This is my Data Traveler 2000. It actually goes like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can like remove that, and it's like that becomes a carabiner. You can put that on your belt loop or whatever else. Twist it on while you're going skiing and snowboarding. There you go.
That's right.
Nice.
Have a great night.
Sasha, thank you so much.
Oh,
You have a great night.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.
You want to see a remake of episode 350? How come? Did I not do a good enough job? You just want to see Sasha's reaction when I show her once again how to do a CH route? Was it Sasha on that? No, I think it was Hillary on 350, wasn't it? No, it was Sasha. Episode 350. Your favorite episode? Cool. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that was pretty geeked out, eh? Who was it? Oh, there's a delay, isn't there? I think it was Sasha on that episode. Wow, we've got another cyber rat. This one's from Quebec. Le cyber rat. Oh, I got a message from my wife, too. Oh, and it's a vegan message. I'm not joking. A&W now has a vegan breakfast sausage. Neat. They do have a nice vegan burger, although I found it chewier than beef. It was Hillary. Oh, okay. I thought it might have been Hillary, and then I was like, nah, maybe it was Sasha. Okay. Miss Hillary. Hillary's got 2 babies now. Saw her husband. He came and visited me yesterday. I guess I don't mind continuing talking with you guys if you want a little like one-on-one time with me just for a few minutes, but I'm just going to start importing the video here, and then I'm going to come right back, okay? So just going to do that, because it takes some time. So you guys enjoy the feature tonight, I hope? Wow, lots of video clips this week. Alright. And there is not enough disk space on C. Story of my life, people. Story of my life. I just am looking for things to delete. Story of my life. This is how it works. Okay. I was able to free some space by deleting some raw files. Takes a lot of space to do video production like this, folks. Am I still on air? Can you guys see me? It's gone blank on my screen. Cool. So I may as well get started on downloading some torrents of Category 5 and NEMS Linux. Why ext3? Well, because I want a journaling file system that supports lots of little files quite well. So obviously I'm not going to do ext2, and I'm not going to leave it as exFAT because then I'd have to install exFAT utils, and because it's installed in a Linux machine anyways, I'm not going to be swapping it out and plugging it into a Windows machine. If I was, then I'd probably go exFAT or NTFS, but then I'd need NTFS 3G. I could do ext4, but I don't see a purpose in that. Oh, are there advantages to ext4 for a torrent server? Maybe for a file system for an operating system, like the actual OS, but for storage? Tell me an advantage to ext4 over ext3 for small files. Because remember that this is to store like a whole bunch of little files in torrents, right? Yeah, Alpec, it would be good, but I would feel like that would be something I would have to have a guest on. Like you see me, like I'll fumble through and I don't mind that, but I know I'm going to get bashed on YouTube for not knowing off the top of my head the add user switches, those kinds of things. So I'd rather not talk file systems because like I'm talking right now, I don't really know why I would opt for ext4. I don't see any advantages to ext4 over ext3 for torrent storage. You will use them now that you've seen what can be done. The nice thing about it is like collaborative distribution of Category 5, so it helps to make it so that all seasons are available. You can go back to Season 1 and download the whole season. Well, we don't have that capability on our website. You can only go back to like Season 5 or 6, realistically. I'd like to have everything up, just for the sake of people like to see the old stuff for some crazy reason. Well, that's what you're mentioning there, the foo, is a feature of LVM, not a feature of ext4. ext3 can be rescaled as well as ext4, as well as any Linux file system. But the feature to modify on the fly the partition size or the logical volume size is a feature of LVM. Where I would lean toward LVM is in snapshots. The capability of snapshotting a system and doing a backup on the fly without having to shut down things like MySQL or virtual appliances, those kinds of things. It's funny, Marshman, you say, if the gym served bacon. I did a video production at a gym where I was just the videographer and producer. And they had a bar at their gym. So after you're done working out, you can make back all the calories you lost by downing a couple beer. So that was kind of funny. Is that true? You may be correct. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever gone that direction. The foo? Okay. Well, there's a reason then. If you needed to do that. With this, I don't need to do that. No reason to do that. I'm using the full space for torrents. And I better BitTorrent now. Torrent.category5.tv. Let's grab season 1. Oh, new every day only has 2 seeders. So that might be another one to seed. Nice. Transmission. Okay, season 1. Season 2. Season 3. Season 4. See, it's so easy to get full seasons of Category 5 via BitTorrent. 5, season 5. I'm grabbing season 5 now. I've got the first 5 seasons. Season 6. Only halfway there. Can you guys believe we've been around that long? Season 7. Season 8. And yes, I count out loud. 9. Almost there. Number 10. And finally, number 11. And I'll just do that for now, just to add another seed for Category 5 TV. And it can just run and run and run. That's cool. Hi, CyberRat QC. Better I/O performance than ext3 for ext4. Nice. Again, that would probably be, you know, that to me would impact like the OS. If it was the OS drive, wouldn't impact me as a storage medium for BitTorrent files, downloads. But I could have chosen either or. And in fact, did you know I could just open FSTab and change ext3 to ext4 and boom, they're upward compatible. So there's nothing to stop me from just changing to ext4 on the fly. I want that gym. No Man 5. Alright, I'm just going to check on my transfer from the Ninja Flame. Once that's done, then I'm going to have to vanish for a while. It's not there yet, we'll say. I have to talk to myself because I'm the only one here. Yeah, 3 to 4 is fine, the foo. Easy peasy. I'm gonna get nailed for... I wanted to add it to to FS tab, but I've been sick and I'm not thinking straight, and I'm like, what are the numbers for? I'm not sure which one is boot order and or scan order and whatever. You guys watch. I called it, okay? So watch YouTube and tell me if anyone mentions, hey, you call yourself a Linux guy and you don't even know what the things in FS tab means? Not that I ever hear from our biggest fans. What was the one I got this week? Oh, it was brilliant anyways. Oh yeah, I'm getting all kinds of flack from the big fans for things like mentioning that you can store spreadsheets with your passwords on an encrypted drive. Dude, it's just an example of one thing that you can encrypt. I don't care whether you keep spreadsheets or not. It's just a fun example of what you might want to keep secret. Cryptocurrency keys. Your offline wallet. It's a perfect solution. Now, I'd probably use Luke's and probably GPG as well, in addition, so that if anyone did crack the file system somehow, they guessed my code. Unlikely, but possible. Then I would have Luke's on the file system so that the computer would prompt for the password. And then, if they got through that and were able to decrypt the file system, which is Luke's, then the files themselves would be encrypted with GPG. There's an episode for you. How's that for security? We should do that, but then when I get it unencrypted, it should be a spreadsheet with a bunch of passwords. And the spreadsheet has a password on it. Alright guys, it's going to be a little bit to transfer these files, so I'm going to get things kind of set up and going. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Thanks for being here and for enjoying the show with us. And I will see you next week. If not before, I'll be in Discord. Cheers, everybody.